I'm Donna.
And I'm Bruce, and this is Lyrical Wisdom.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Lyrical Wisdom, where we dive into song lyrics and offer heart-based wisdom through our interpretations. If you enjoy what you're hearing, don't forget you can catch every episode of Lyrical Wisdom on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more.
You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Lyrical Wisdom Show. Do you have a song you'd like to hear us shed some light on? You can email us requests, questions, comments to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on a YouTube video. We'd really love to hear from you, and all requests get an episode and a shout out.
So join us every Tuesday and Friday as we dig deep and deliver our wisdom. And thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing to Lyrical Wisdom. Hello, Bruce.
Good morning, Donna.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Just another day in paradise for me. How about yourself?
Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm having, it's going to be a beautiful time here with you and with everyone because it already has been.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
everybody. Thank you.
yeah. I mean, the light is shining so bright and I'm just so excited to be here. It's been great. It really has.
It has, and it is. And yes, I'm looking forward to today in particular, um, mostly because it is just another day. And I love it. I love it very much. It's good to see you. It's good to be here. And I'm very grateful for everybody out there that happens to be listening to us do this. I'm really looking forward to our show. So, yes.
Me too. I was
Yeah.
speaking to our dear friend April about just about life, Bruce.
Yeah.
And how when you are doing what brings your heart joy, then life flows so easily. And this right here, this brings me joy.
Me
I
too.
love this. I love spending the time with you, Bruce. I love
Thank
spending
you.
the time with each and every one of you who tune in to us here on Lyrical Wisdom. We are so, so grateful that you do take time to just spend it with us every now and then.
Absolutely. Very, very much love and gratitude out there for everybody that does come in and listen to us. I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys get a chance to listen to the playlist that our team has put together for you so that when you listen to us on Spotify, you can actually listen to the song that we are talking about. So it's a really wonderful way to kind of put the two together, I think, and be able to hear it in different ways. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
loving every minute of it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Because, yeah, it's like I feel overwhelmed
yeah,
with just gratitude and joy
I agree.
showering down, like
Yes.
rain.
Like rain, and it has to be sometimes in some places it has to be contained, and because there can sometimes be so much wonderful rain that it kind of has its moment where somebody sometimes worried about the levee breaking, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think most of us here have a memory of that happening in New Orleans.
yes, we do. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Katrina.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Things, yeah, when the levee breaks, it can be a very, a very powerful moment, as can water, rain. It is in its own form of carrying information because water is a conduit. and it can hold memory. We know that from Emoto's work
Oh, wow.
in The
Yeah.
Messages in Water. And to think that, when the levee breaks, all of that water just rushes out. It can be extremely destructive and also very renewing and
Yeah.
transforming
Yeah.
and cleansing.
Yeah.
It's it's the cycle. It's the way life is sometimes.
It truly
So,
is. It truly
yeah,
is.
yeah,
And there's so many different ways of how that beautiful way you just described it. And I feel like in that there can also be, just the knowing that, once I think of a forest fire, I'm not a big fan of wildfires. Don't get me wrong. However, I know that in some cases the forest can't regrow unless there is one.
yeah, yes,
That's
yeah,
an
yeah.
amazing kind of balance. And so,
And
yeah,
then, I mean, the rising phoenix,
yeah,
from
yeah,
ashes. There is a beautiful symbiotic relationship between yin and yang, dark and light, good, bad, all of that.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we do know that from destruction comes creation. Something new is, it comes from that void where there was, nothing, something can be. It's really, really cool. And what I love about our song today, Bruce, is that it
yeah.
is a request.
Yes, it
This
is.
is a
That's
request from Stan from Noonan, Georgia. Thank you so much, Stan, for reaching out to us with this request. I am so excited. It is originally by Kansas Joe and Memphis Minnie. Isn't that fascinating?
that is fascinating. I did not know that. I've seen this in a an old cheat book that I have for learning songs by Led Zeppelin to play on guitar. And I've perused through this song there, but also listened to it on old CDs. If there's anybody out there that remembers, I know you do.
What a CD
Compact,
is.
yeah, compact disc. And but yeah, I've listened to this song many times, and so I feel a really wonderful connection to it. But it's funny because I never knew that there was somebody else that could have written this song except for Led Zeppelin. I've only known it
Wow.
until today. Yeah, that's wonderfully new.
Yeah,
So, but yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to this because I love how truly I do feel like there is this level of kind of cerebralness. I don't know how else to put it, but there's a level of being very cerebral with the music and with the lyrics with Led Zeppelin. I think that a lot of what they do can be, very profound. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to this today.
Yeah. Well, let's bring our audience in on this, Bruce. I don't think we've even let them know what this song is. So thank you. Thank you, Stan.
Yes.
And take it away, Bruce.
All righty. Thank you, Stan. And this song is When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin, originally by Kansas Joe and Memphis Minnie. If it keeps on raining, the levee's going to break. If it keeps on raining, the levee's going to break. When the levee breaks, we'll have no place to stay. Mean old levee taught me to weep and moan. Oh, mean old levee taught me to weep and moan. It's got what it takes to make a mountain man leave his home. Oh well, oh well, oh well. Oh, don't it make you feel bad when you are trying to find your way home? You don't know which way to go. If you're going down south, they got no work to do. If you're going north to Chicago, crying won't help you. Praying won't do you no good. No, crying won't help you. Praying won't do you no good. When the levee breaks, mama, you got to move. Ho ho. All last night I sat on the levee and moaned. All last night sat on the levee and moaned, thinking about my baby and my happy home. Going? I'm going to Chicago. Going to Chicago. Sorry, but I can't take you. Ah, going down now. Going down. I'm going down now. Going down. Going down. Oh, going down. Going down now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to this one. I know I've heard a lot of Led Zeppelin. I can't recall this one. And I am really, really ready and excited about presenting this, especially for you, Stan, and for each and every one of you that are here listening to us today. If it keeps on raining, levee's gonna break. That is that is a very simple statement that is so profound in its truth.
Yes, yes, it is. And there are many places that live by the strength and protection of the levee. There's the I'm not exactly sure if it's the Netherlands, but not only, New Orleans, but there's other places that live by the levee. And so, this is something that is pretty literal in its own way, because basically a levee is a dam and it's holding
Yeah,
water back,
yeah.
and so, we have a sense of overwhelming and overfilling. And so, in some ways, I think of the way that they sing this and the way that they talk about it, because as I was looking at some of the wonderful information that our team member Allison has like brought up for us, there is a country blues kind of feel to this song from the original writers, and that's through recorded by Kansas Joe McCoy and Memphis Minnie in 1929 of all times.
Wow.
Yeah, because there are times going back that the 1900s, we kind of I've heard people joke about that because I can honestly say I'm a child of the 1900s. And the thing about it is that like 1929 doesn't feel that long ago. However, there are things that have happened like indoor plumbing, bathrooms being put in people's houses. They weren't always there. And the 1900s were a period of time when some of these things started to happen on a more frequent basis, which is so weird to think about,
Hmm.
And so a levee being something that has been around forever, for very long, it seems like this is kind of like a way of like kind of just being that open about this overwhelming, biting off more than you can chew, in some ways, I feel like in this song. And it just kind of got that feel to me, when I was reading that, because I agree with you. I wanted to, like reading it, I wanted to listen to the music again so
Yeah,
much. So because, it says these things and then it repeats it, when the levee breaks, we'll have no place to stay at the end of that. If it keeps on
right.
raining, levee's going to break. If it keeps on raining, the levee is going to break. It's like, okay, um, I'm talking at a town hall telling the villagers or people in my community, hey, if it keeps on raining, the levee's going to break. We're going to have no place to stay. It's like I'm making an announcement. And it really feels to me with the music and the way that they write it that it's like not only is this about the literal, but I think it's also something of like, you know, allowing things to be overwhelming as well, biting off more than you could chew in the cliche version.
Yeah, and of course the second verse goes a little bit more into that. And if we look at these lyrics in a like a metaphorical lens of rain being all of the stuff that happens to you, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, okay, you get up, get out of bed, you're walking around the bed, you stub your toe. Ah! And then you're going into the bathroom and there's a little bit of water left there from somebody and you slip and you fall and you're like, ah. So first your toe and now your whole hip. Do you understand where I'm going with this, Bruce?
I do. I shouldn't be laughing
Rain.
because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there like, why is he laughing? It's just because I've experienced this. So,
Yes, yes. And this for me is the power behind these lyrics is if it keeps on raining, the levee's going to break. It
mhm.
also, to me, refers to just a simple relationship between
Yeah,
two people.
yeah,
And it starts to rain and it just keeps raining.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
guess what? Whatever bond was made that is holding the relationship together is going to break.
yeah, yeah,
If you build, make a little something out of art, like a little bowl or whatever, and you start filling it with water or whatever, it's going to overflow. It's, just the understanding of rain in its totality, in its literal form here. It's
yeah,
I mean, there's so much truth in that. Yeah, if it keeps on raining, guess what? The levee's going to break. It's there, the water has to go somewhere.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then when we look at it deeper, as in, well, what could that rain signal in your life? And how is your levee? You know, have you made plans to be able to survive if the levee breaks?
oh yeah,
Because it says when the levee breaks, we'll have no place to go.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
he goes on to say, mean old levee taught me to weep and moan. Oh, mean old levee taught me to weep and moan. In other words, I believe we've all experienced the rain
yeah,
in
yeah,
in all of its forms.
yes, yes, oh yeah,
And yes, there comes weeping, crying, and sadness, and oh my goodness, the moaning, oh dear, oh, what's happening, the fear. There's so many emotions attached to just weeping and moaning that comes from this levee.
yeah. Well, and I loved how you put it before when it could be relationships between people because in certain cases, I think you know, that that's the part that, when that can feel overwhelming, like you just feel like there's something on the horizon that's coming to you and you
Yeah.
don't necessarily know how to put it into words, but you're just, clutching your chest in your own way and just moaning because you feel this pain, from whatever reason in these moments. And those are the times when I really feel like, yeah, it's like there are certain things that there's just too much, as you were mentioning, and I'm going to put it in a like a the comedian, I remember he would talk about having stuff. But it like it's just too much stuff. We end up packing so much stuff in like our suitcase and we're sitting on it trying to close the zipper. But eventually, we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to break our zipper and things are going to pop out. And it's going to overwhelm. We're going to have that moment where we've, you know, inadvertently and unintentionally bitten off more than we can chew. And that's where I love how you were going into that. Yeah. And that's, I love how you just said that because like, me and old Levy taught me to weep and moan. It's got what it takes to make a mountain man leave his home. Oh well, oh well, oh well. And it's like there's this kind of way of setting up these kind of mentions of this deeper something, because it's it's a little, I don't want to say it's totally vague, but it's a little vague on what it exactly is. We're kind of, I think we're hitting the nail on the head, because I'm feeling exactly, I think, what you are, Donna, in the sense of what this could be referring to, because, it's got a lot of I think, a lot of emotion in this song in particular.
Exactly. I mean, emotion just for the literalness of it. In other
Yeah,
words, so many displaced people and homes, when the levee broke in New Orleans, wherever, a real levee is, and
yeah,
a storm surge or rain comes and the levee breaks, there's emotion. And the beautiful thing about it is I love the way he called the levee mean. Like it had personality.
yes, I do
That
too.
and for me that personality is the levee itself, what it represents. It represents security, right?
Yes, it's
And
a,
when
yeah,
that security gets broken down, what's left is fear, is sadness, is, a flood of emotions
yes, yes.
when life itself is being challenged,
Yeah,
because that is where fear, I believe, comes from. you
yes,
know the oh my god, I'm gonna die, that one simple thought.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
for me, that levee, it's he's calling it mean because it represents so much and it controls.
yeah, yeah,
That's where, it controls what's going to happen
yeah,
if this flood comes in,
yeah,
because when it breaks, it it's got what it takes to make a mountain man leave his home. Not
yeah,
just a
yeah,
man,
yeah.
a mountain man, which to me, what does a mountain represent? Strength, strength, courage, endurance. Just, you,
Resilience.
right. I
Yeah,
mean, when you see a mountain, you see its majestic nature. I mean, it's so powerful. And so we're not just talking about a simple man here. We're talking
no.
about a mountain man. And he
Somebody who
has
could,
to leave his home.
yeah, somebody who should be, in this sense, it's somebody who should be able to weather the storm because
Right.
they've, obviously weathered other storms in their past.
Yeah.
That's, I think, kind of the implication, and I totally agree. Yeah, because it's going to make this mountain man leave their home, and there's a little bit of a, oh well, it's kind of like, oh well, oh well, oh well,
Yeah.
um,
Because I think in that moment, the oh well comes from the understanding that I have no control.
yeah, yeah,
None of us really truly do, especially over, in its literal sense, the rain,
yeah,
something like
yeah,
this. And
yeah,
and
yeah,
this song, of course, was written, I believe, for the Mississippi flood that happened way back then, in the 1920s. And they're recalling that. They're recalling um, the moaning and the weeping, and oh
yes,
well,
yes,
we're
yes,
gonna have to leave. There's
yeah,
there's nothing left.
yeah,
And also it also, I love the fact that it calls for surrender. That's what the oh well, I am going to surrender to this situation of my security being pulled out from under me. It's like having the rug pulled out from under you,
yeah,
literally, you
yeah,
know? And it's like, oh, don't it make you feel bad
yes,
when you're trying to find your way home? home is in, I've always said home is where the heart is.
Yeah.
Finding that place within is where the security is secure. I believe in, looking for other things to build a levee with is where when it breaks you realize, wow, I didn't have anything secure.
Yes. Yeah. It's that's the moment that we don't expect. I couldn't agree with you more. It hits you like a lightning bolt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, how you said it. It's just unexpected,
Yeah.
and in some ways, the way that the song is sung, sitting I don't want to get too far away ahead, but there are moments where I feel like, they say, okay, I could kind of feel this before, as I'm experiencing this kind of feeling like maybe this is coming.
They're
There's a
watching the
sense.
water rise.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And the water being, like you were mentioning earlier, which I love because now I can grab back at that, is that, that water can be so many different things. It could be, nowadays, yes, we know that this is in response to the levee floods, flooding the Mississippi Delta back in, I think it was 1927. And
Mm-hmm.
so, it's this that whole occurrence is still fresh in people's minds. And there's even other artists that have produced songs that are addressing this and talking about this experience in its way. And so, there's so much emotion that goes into this. But I like how, for me, I feel like we're kind of vibing on this feeling that like there's more to it. The water rising isn't just the flood. The water rising could be, like you had mentioned, a relationship, that feeling where the tensions are rising. Something is coming to a head, as we would say. And it's about, as the volcano builds, it's magma. It's ready to, push this, the pressure builds and then kaboom, kablooey.
Mm-hmm.
It's something very common, I think, in our world. It's it's change. Very powerful.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because in so many different times we've had moments where people were moving in large amounts, like this 1927 Mississippi flood, the dirt red or the dust clouds that migrated people out of the mid kind of southwest area or Midwest in the Oklahoma and certain areas because it was so dry. There's been other times, and I love how John Steinbeck, like this song, artists take these stories, and his Grapes of Wrath was written about that dust storm causing that move, like this, being the song that's written about the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927. I mean, holy cow. So,
What's really fascinating about that, Bruce, is we are so close to 2027,
wow,
and the 100-year flood. Have you heard about that? I
I
mean,
have not. I have not.
there's like this knowing, I guess, about
Yeah,
the 100-year flood. It's like every 100 years there seems to be some type of, flood that happens.
wow.
And that is really fascinating that we're realizing, or I'm realizing in this moment, that, here we are coming up on 2027, and we're talking about, a flood of 1927. So
Absolutely.
really
Absolutely.
fascinating.
That
So,
is. That
and,
is.
it's something, I guess, what this song is talking about is, don't it make you feel bad when you're trying to find your way home? You don't know which way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is, I think it's like realizing that, these things can happen, and have that compass of the heart to know where your home is
Yeah.
will help you weather any storm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because if in physicality, you are misplaced by a storm. If a levee breaks physically and you have to move, to another state or whatever, there is this preparedness that's there for you within your center,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
compass, your heart. You just know you're going to be all right, that you're
Your
going to be
north's,
able to
yeah.
set up home
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah. It's
And
like you're,
that's where the song I think goes into, is to say, what are your plans? Have you got anything, because if you're going down south, they got no work to do.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Back in the 1920s, I guess, they thought, you know, it was, and I think it's fascinating because they don't say what happens in Chicago. If you're going north to Chicago,
No,
what?
well, I gotta assume that to me, I feel like they're kind of referencing, and I think that we are kind of feeling this too, like the North Star. You gotta go with
Yeah,
your, like you were saying, your North Star. And I don't mean that like necessarily in how they literally describe going north to Chicago. I just think that that's something that they're kind of leaning towards. And then they put out Chicago because one of the things about this, if you think about 1927, I'm going to guess that if that entire Mississippi Delta is flooded and people are gravitating north to cities like, I don't know what happened in St. Louis. All I'm going to say is they're thinking of places that are north that maybe weren't affected by this thing. And now that's where the work is going to be because they realize this is going to take a while to recover from. So we got to
right.
get the heck out of Dodge and to borrow another city or place. And so, it seems to me like there's not just a little bit of like leaning towards what we were just talking about, but also just in that literal sense too of like, hey, well, we got to go where the work is because no, they got no work to do down south because we just got flooded. That whole Mississippi Delta area just got flooded. And if you're going north to Chicago, and it goes on to say, crying won't help you, praying won't do you no good. And it repeats that. And it really to me is kind of trying to, I don't want to say calm the moment, but in a way, kind of add some sort of way of kind of putting a little bit of a damper on all of this emotion because I can't imagine what that must be like for somebody to, I mean, I want to say I can't imagine, but I can a little bit. But I know that like in a certain moment, you don't have a place to live in. What are you going to do? Now you're basically either on the street or you've got family to fall back into. Things have to be made, decisions have to be made very quickly. 1927, I don't know what kind of cars everybody had, but I imagine that there was a migration on foot that was occurring, and I imagine that there was a lot of weeping and wailing. And you know what I mean? It just seems
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, we got to get up and go, and right now it isn't necessarily going to help you put one foot in front of the other. I mean, for me, I would want to cry while I was doing that. So I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, but
Well, I think they're allowing it. And I
yeah,
think what they're saying is if you're going south, they got no work to do. If
yeah,
you're going north to Chicago, crying won't help you.
yeah,
Praying won't do you no good. No, crying won't help you. In other words, you there's more to life. There's something more you have to do, and it's find that place within you that is the strength and the courage to move on,
yeah, yeah,
because sitting and crying won't help you,
yeah,
and
yeah,
praying to a God outside of yourself is not going to help you.
right.
It's going within and finding that courage and that strength to walk away,
Yeah.
to, move on and find a home somewhere new.
Yeah, and if I mean, I don't know how far the Mississippi Delta extends, but it seems like quite a migration to me. that seems like quite a migration because it seems like it encompasses of a lot of it does. It affected a lot of people and that means they decided if you're going to Chicago, I can't even imagine, but it seems like pretty far away. So it seems like it's also, a testament to how difficult their next journey might be.
Yeah.
And they, they kind of say that because they're like they reiterate that. They say crying won't help you. Praying won't do you no good. No, crying won't help you. Praying won't do you no good. When the levee breaks, mama, you gotta move on. Oh, you gotta move. And
Yeah.
so I
You
think,
just have to move. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and that's the, then going on, they're like, at all last night I sat on the levee and moaned. And that's where, as I was saying before, I didn't want to give it away, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is where I feel like it's now doing another one of those moments in a song where they kind of give you a little bit of an in your face kind of thing, like, okay, yeah, we've been talking about this flood, but here we're going to kind of mention it in a way that's a little bit, this is definitely more of a cerebral take. It's definitely a little bit of a nod in the sense that, this is something that could be considered overwhelming. Yeah, here's the physical body sitting on a levee and moaning. I feel like that is definitely a
All
connection there.
night long.
Yeah.
Not just for a moment, Bruce. He
Yeah.
sat on that levee all night long.
Yeah.
And I think the beauty in this lyric, Bruce, for me is the allowing of the human emotion to come through, the moaning,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and also the realization of what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm sure when he sat on the levee, he realized this levee's going to break. I got to go. I've got to go.
Yeah.
I know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And so he was able to take a moment to be sad and to grieve losing his home. And he was able to say goodbye because it said, thinking about my baby and my happy home. And
Yes.
for me, that's kind of key
Yeah.
to in the preparedness of knowing that, when you're in the midst of a storm, guess what? The levee can break. Are you prepared?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
I really like those lyrics in that way
I do too.
because then he just says, I'm going to Chicago.
Yeah.
Going to Chicago.
Sorry, but I can't take you. Going down now. You know, that part kind of eluded me in how I remember, when I was reading it, I was like, wow, this has definitely a deeper meaning to this. And I'm wondering, what's your take on the part where he's really going down and over again, going down now, you know?
Hmm.
And that's,
I
I
think,
started to,
yeah, that's fascinating because you can take it so many different places, Bruce. You really, really can.
yes, yeah, yeah,
Because for me, I'm going.
yeah,
In other words, no matter what, I have made up my mind. I'm going to Chicago. Going to Chicago. Sorry, but I can't take you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that is the very powerful statement in this whole song by saying, for me, Chicago is also that place within.
Hmm.
In other words,
Yes,
it's kind of like the metaphor for that place within you. That's his
yes, yeah,
heart.
yeah.
And he, you can't take anybody with
No,
you when you're
yeah.
going within.
And that's the part that connects it. That's what I was just going to say. It's that bridge. And that's why I
Yeah.
believe that even though Led Zeppelin and, I know, I forget what their name, Minnie and the other, singer.
Memphis Minnie. Yeah.
Yeah, Memphis Minnie and her the partner. I know that they, maybe they wrote the song and they wanted to, use that flood as something that is an anchor. But I do feel like there's more to it. I
Yeah.
don't, because just what you said to me links the going down. I'm going down now, going down. I'm going down now, going down, going down, going down. It seems to me that is the going within, going
Yeah.
down inside. And it's a way that some people will visualize and also be guided into meditation is to be guided into going sinking down,
Yeah.
feeling yourself dropping down, dropping in, and finding a way to feel that sense, you know. And
Yeah.
and so I think that in a way that the way that we're talking about it, it really resonates with me, that there's more to it. Yes, because on the other flip side, going down, well, what are they talking about? You could envision the cartoon where the finger comes up out of the water with the one and the two and the three, and then somebody
Hmm.
saves them. It's like, hopefully they're not talking about drowning, but I don't think so,
Yeah. Yeah.
because at the same time they mentioned Chicago. So, but I would say that, it doesn't seem to me that that's where the ending is going. But that's just kind of what I think is to your words. I really feel like it's speaking to going within and getting deeper, and
Yeah.
that's why it says
Yeah.
going
Going
down.
deep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Going
yeah,
real deep. I mean,
yeah,
all the way.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know
And a
thyself.
lot of people, when they get to that place, Bruce, they do fall on their knees.
Yes,
It just
yes,
happens,
yeah, yeah,
and you do find that God that is so present
yeah,
with you
yeah,
in that moment, being
yeah,
as you, with you, around you, everything.
yeah,
All is one, all is divine.
yeah,
And
yeah.
being able to go to get down to that point of that realization is the beautiful thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And
Um,
it's definitely it's a what do we think? I think it's a release, but it's also a not giving up. It's just allowing to not feel like somebody's in control. Like if I'm at that point, I've had to allow myself to not be in control and allow myself to help that, will get me to that place. That's it's a hard moment. It can be considered a sacrifice.
yeah,
It's so many things. And so, yeah, that's, wow. What a
yeah.
very deep and profound song, Stan. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Stan from Noonan. This is cool. I'm so happy we had the opportunity to share this song with each and every one of you.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, and thank you all for being with us here today on
Lyrical
Wisdom.